Hello and welcome to the Rose Gallery Holiday Special show match. My name is Keen, and co-casting with me tonight is Crazy, and observing will be Tim. So how are you doing tonight, Crazy?
I'm doing all right. We got our holiday special, got a bunch of snow maps, so we should be able to get into the holiday spirit and play some StarCraft.
Yeah, and so for those who are unfamiliar with the event, it's actually going to be a show match between two relatively new players to the scene, Maars and Machine. Machine isn't really a new player, but he's come out of retirement fairly recently, so kind of new to the modern North American Brood War scene. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. And since it's a holiday show match, we'll be playing on 5 winter-themed maps. So Tau Cross, Optimizer, Avalon, Hitchhiker, and Whiteout.
Yeah,
And yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about the map pool, Crazy?
I think it'll be an interesting one. You got a large variety of maps. You have a Optimizer, which is in the map pool pretty recently, but then you have like Hitchhiker, which was only an ASL. You have Whiteout, Avalon, and Cross, which are pretty old maps. So we'll see how they fare on these weird maps along with the normalish ones.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever even seen a game on Avalon.
I
I,
haven't
I
either.
honestly don't even know what it looks like. So it'll be kind of interesting for sure. And I think there's actually a pretty good spread of like balance, like favoring Terran and Zerg. Like I know Hitchhiker is a pretty Zerg favored map,
Yeah,
whereas Optimizer is obviously like super Terran favored.
right.
It looks
And
like we'll
even
be
just
starting
like
on Whiteout.
even just the way they play out is just like there's huge variation. Like Hitchhiker, it's very normal to stay on one base for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. So first map will be Whiteout. It looks like players just got done banning down the maps. Have you played on Whiteout? I know Whiteout was a CPL map, and you were in CPL for the last couple seasons, I believe.
Oh, last one and this one. I don't think I was in it with Whiteout.
Oh,
I have
okay.
played a few games on it though.
Yeah, it might have been the CPL before you started playing. Um, in case you aren't familiar with it, it has the whole middle of the map is covered by these trees that really limit the vision of the units that are walking through it.
Oh yeah,
So it's kind of an interesting dynamic. It can maybe open up a route for like weird cheese builds possibly, but for the most part, I think it's a fairly standard map. I don't think it's super um, favored for either race here, but we'll see. Yeah,
sure.
so um, I I don't know. Maars is also like a really new player, I believe. I don't know if he played Brood War before like StarCraft 2. I know Machine was a pretty active old school player between like 2005 and 2010. So I feel like he going into these matches on these kind of like unusual maps, Machine might have a little bit of an advantage, whereas
Yeah,
Mars maybe is less experienced and more used to the sort of like fighting spirit circuit breaker sort of stuff.
right.
As a newer player yourself, what do you think? Crazy.
I mean, playing on these older maps, it's just the meta is different, and if you haven't played during those times, you have to like really think of what builds you really want to go for. With like, for example, on Whiteout, the third is super exposed, so you can't do like a build you do on Fighting Spirit where you have that high ground third.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then like maps like Tau Cross, like for Zerg especially, it's so hard to get your third up, and especially your fourth. So like, I'm wondering if Machine will even try to go like a standard like 2 hatch meta play, and if Mars isn't familiar with like playing against like lurker builds, I wonder if he'll run into trouble there.
Yeah, just keep him off his A game and just do some weird stuff that'll throw him off guard.
Yeah, I mean, as an up and coming player, I know he has really strong TVZ. I've practiced with him a little bit, and he's very, very good against two hatch Muta, like standard play. But I think he may be in sort of a similar situation as like Father, for example, who is also pretty solid against two hatch Muta, but he kind of like falls apart if you go like three hatch builds or lurker builds.
Gotcha.
Anyway, it looks like our game will be starting. All right, looks like bottom we have our magenta Terran Mars, and top right we have our gray Zerg machine. So I do know that both of these players have been practicing a lot for this show match. I feel like Mars he's reached out to me. I feel like he's reached out to like basically every Zerg player in North America other than Machine to practice, and also reached out to like several Terrans to get coaching. I believe he got like one-on-one coaching with Terror,
Oh,
which
jeez. Yeah.
is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know Machine has been practicing a ton playing with like Rhett and Nesh and so on. So hopefully we'll see some really good games from both players here.
Yeah. That's a pretty impressive name list of practice partners.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what do you think the spawn positions in this scenario? Like, Zerg spawning counterclockwise to the Terran.
I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I mean, he'll be scouting Mars first with his Overlord, right? So that's a little bit of an advantage. I don't know. I feel like this position actually for Mars is like super wide open. So
Yeah.
it kind of looks a little hellish to cover with turrets. So I kind of hope that Machine just goes two hash Muta and really abuses that fact.
Yeah, I know it's a real nightmare to build turrets in this spot.
It reminds me of what is the 3-player map, like Aztec, and maybe like 12 o'clock on Sylphid,
Yeah.
where they're just like notoriously difficult for Terran players to turret up.
Just that gas position. If you put the turrets near the gas, then it leaves your mineral line exposed. But if you put them in their own line, they can just snipe your gas SCVs left and right.
Yeah, and that is one characteristic of a lot of like older maps. I know it's kind of funky on Tau Cross as well at the bottom position.
Yep.
But yeah, it looks like Mars is actually going for a mech build.
Yeah, so we do see a gas opening, so it could be the Goliath build, or it could be a 1-1-1. I know 1-1-1 was kind of popular in the days when Tower Cross was in the ASL map pool.
Oh, was it interesting? I didn't even realize Tau Cross was in the ASL map pool.
Yeah, I think it was what, like ASL 6 or 7, one of those two?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's surprising. I swear I thought it was like a really old school map. Like the last time it was used was in like 2006 or something.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about Whiteout. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, that makes more sense. Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. It's a one base build. So yeah, maybe it will be like a one base 1-1-1. I don't think I've played against Mars going one base tech build before, so don't really know what to expect from him here.
Yeah, we'll see what he wants to do. As far as we know right now, we'll try and tech up a little bit early before he gets that expansion.
Yeah, and looks like he's just going to go for an expansion and get a Vulture out.
So yeah, after this, we'll see if he drops down a starport or if he drops down an armory, and that'll tell us which build he wants to go for. Let's see. Putting SCVs back on gas.
So if it was a 1-1-1 build, sorry, I'm not actually super familiar with the Terran side of things with 1-1-1. I assume he would have been mining gas consistently, so I'm guessing this is going to be a Goliath build?
No, you pull SCVs off gas till you get the command center down.
Oh, okay.
It's what you follow up after the factory. The fact that we see an add-on points, well, we got a Vulture first. See building a armory in the bottom or the starport? Oh, just depot. So we'll see.
Machine has his sunken on time, so it won't do anything at all. And he's actually researching the machine shop, so I wonder if this is going to be some kind of like vulture run by or something.
Yeah, probably vultures with mines.
Interesting. That's something that you don't see very often. You
There's a second factory, so he could be going something. I don't know. I don't know right now. We'll see. I have to see what he does. Oh, there's the armory.
finally going down. I feel like that's pretty late though for an armory.
Yeah, he probably wants to do something like a vulture run by, like you said, before he goes into Goliath.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, both players have been practicing a lot, so I guess I wouldn't be surprised if Maars prepared some actual, kind of like cheesy sort of all-inish builds just for this show match. But taking the vulture or taking the sunken hit there was really bad if he's trying to do any kind of vulture cheese, which it looks like he is.
There's speed. Looks like he is going for the run by.
And Machine's SimCity, I think, is pretty decent. Oh, he just missed it with the Overlord.
If he has 4 vultures, and it'll be what, another 10-15 seconds before mutas are out. So vultures can't get into the main.
Because Maars ran right past the Overlord vision, they were able to just slip right in there. I mean, getting 2 of the vultures with such a late reaction is not bad, but Machine is in a ton of trouble right now. This hurts so much. As a Zerg player, whenever vultures get into your base, it just feels like the game is over. But mutas, I think he picked off 3 drones total.
Yeah, even that, like on 2 hatch muta, you bare minimum of drones, so 3 drones is pretty huge.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Maars, I'm guessing just using that as a tactic to make up for the fact that the space is so exposed.
Right.
Giving himself some breathing room to get these turrets up. Yeah, mutas are going to find that this is kind of exposed, but only 5 mutas. Not going to be able to do a ton of damage.
Yeah, the one consequence of that early speed is that his Goliath range will be a little bit delayed.
Yeah, that will hurt for sure. I'm not exactly sure if that was worth it. Like, he didn't get a ton of drone kills, and that's such a huge investment to get like more vultures than usual and the vulture speed.
Yeah.
And these turrets are just so awkwardly placed.
Oh yeah, it's really hard to get your turrets down because it's so wide open.
Yeah, but even at the Nat, I mean, placing a turret behind the minerals there, it's kind of questionable, but it looks like Machine isn't going to go too hard on the mutas. He's already transitioning into a Hydra Den.
Yeah, what is it? Who was it that came up with this? Which built 7 mutas and then switched directly into Hydra? Was it Soma or Zero? I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Soma build. Especially if we see Queens, which is the standard. Queen Hydra against Mech. I personally like a style that leans more heavily on mutas until the Terran is able to start teching to vessels, but this is definitely a pretty good style against Terran Mech for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You can go either way. The muta route basically just keeps the Terran on Goliath until they get vessels out, because they have to just they've committed to the arms race of mutas versus Goliath.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, on this map in these positions in particular, it's like it's so awkward for the Terran to turret up. We're super exposed to any kind of like, backdoor attacks.
Oh yeah.
Or counterattacks. And then it's also kind of, I mean, I think it's good that Maars is going mech on these positions, because it would be super hard to defend this position with Marine and Medic, but at the same time, it's a little awkward moving around this map with mech, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The center terrain and everything.
Because, yeah, I guess you wouldn't be able to see the mutas until you're right on top of your Goliath, right?
Yeah, so you'd have to stick to, the wide open areas of the map, essentially. But by the same token, it also makes it a little awkward for Hydras.
Yeah. Alright, see Maars pushing out with +1 armor down on the Goliath, so he's going to force those mutas back to defend, and push toward that third base.
Still no Queen's Nest, it looks like, from Machine. It's kind of surprising.
I guess he's just going straight into the Hydra tech switch here.
It kind of worries me, though, because if you are going Hydra Queen, you need to get your queens up as soon as possible so they can start banking energy.
Oh,
I mean,
he
he's
added a
totally
bunch more
fine right
mutas.
now.
Yeah, he added a bunch more mutas. That's why he doesn't have queens.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. He's just going to delay the Hydras.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's getting a Carapace upgrade. What is that symbol on the...
Yeah, +1 armor gun for the Mutilates. People going in for run by or fly by on the natural. Just gonna start taking down these turrets. Punish Maars for pushing it on the map.
Yeah, and he's doing a decent amount of damage, but I kind of wish he waited until all of his meters were clumped together instead of just sending in 4 up at once. But either way, he's killing a bunch of SCVs, taking down the turrets.
Yeah.
The nice thing about going Muta against mech is that your mutas can essentially kind of ignore the Goliath. They take very little damage. So you can just kill SCVs and then run away.
Especially when they go +1 armor first. I know Terran started to trend toward getting +1 attack first when Zerg started just doing this run by and not giving a crap about the Goliaths.
Yeah. Maars still remaking turrets in kind of the same awkward places. Machine taking his 4th. It looks like Machine is a little low on drones.
Yeah, it looks like he has a little over 1 a patch.
Natural is a little oversaturated. His 3rd is a little low on drones.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if that'll hurt him more in the future if Maars does his second push out off the 5-back.
I mean, I do think it'll hurt him. I mean, I think this push is pretty scary for Maars, and while it's good to get SCVs and do the the Muta run by that we're talking about, it did take a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But we'll see how Machine deals with this. This is a pretty scary looking push in my opinion.
Maars electing to siege up in the middle of the map. I think he's scared of the Hydras surrounding him in the middle.
Yeah, and he's picking off a couple of Hydras for free because Machine doesn't have really reliable knowledge about exactly where Maars is. Maars has like 2.5 groups of Goliaths with like 2 or 3 tanks. I honestly don't think that he can kill this, and he's letting Machine is letting Maars get right into position to go attack his 3rd here.
Yeah, Tank's getting into position to start taking down the sunken colonies. Scan's going down to try and look for that army.
There's no way he's going to be able to get in here and get like a favorable angle with the Hydra.
Yeah. Those tanks can just shoot down the Hydras before they can even get any close to those Goliaths.
So really, I feel like the only hope he has here is to, well, Maars is just sitting in this forest, so he'll have to use the scan to get complete vision. But interesting. Even with the vision, like, wow, Maars isn't even scanning. Even with his vision disadvantage, Maars is still just shredding this army.
Yeah, just going through that forest. The Hydras can't get a good angle on those Goliath or tanks. Looks like he is going to clean it up, but Maars is cleaning up all the drones at this 3rd base.
I'm kind of surprised that Maars actually split his Goliaths like that. But I'm also surprised he didn't just scan, because first of all, if Maars kept those Goliaths, I think he would have actually been alright. But if he kept the Goliaths and scanned, I think he would have actually just crushed Machine in that battle. That was really kind of questionable decision making in my opinion.
Yeah, it's always hard a decision to make in that split second.
Yeah,
especially when you can't see your opponent's army. But yeah, as Tim's pointing out, the supply difference. After taking out all those drones, Machine just can't seem to macro up an army after that. He has his group of Hydras in the middle of the map, but now he's got to try and drone up.
Yeah. I think even though Machine had a pretty good fight there, a pretty good trade, I think he's actually still pretty he's definitely in trouble because, like I said before, he usually when you're going Hydra heavy, you want to get queens as early as possible so they can start banging up energy, so you can brood lane tanks, and
Right.
then your Hydras can deal with the glass. But Machine is remaking drones right now, trying to get saturated, and still no queens to speak of.
Off of those vultures. Getting into the fourth uncontested, just start taking down drones.
Yeah, and this really hurts too. Like, vultures are essentially just completely expendable for Terran mech armies.
Oh yeah.
Because Terran mech is always limited by gas.
Yep.
And vultures are just so cheap anyway, so... I mean, do you play mech often?
I used to, not so much anymore, but yeah, once you get into this against Hydra stage, you just start running around vultures, lay down your mines, and then just go on suicide mission for drones.
Yeah, and it's super frustrating for Zerg, because, like, what are you going to do? Oh my god.
Oh my god, especially in this forest.
Yeah, wow. Those are just absolutely brutal mines.
That is just the Zerg hell forest. Trees and mines.
But yeah,
Oh my
like,
god.
you can make somethings and try to, prevent the damage that way, but that's super expensive to do, and vultures just run by the summons anyway, they don't care. Taking down so many drones, oh my god.
Oh my god. He's basically only mining on 2 base right now. Jeez.
Yeah. And then he lost so many Hydras to the mines as well. He's in a really bad position right now. I honestly don't think... I'm not sure how he can make this into a win after trades like that.
It's never good when the meching Terran has a supply lead.
Yeah, I mean, Maars is on 3 gas now. He's going to start getting vessels up, so this mass meter won't be that threatening. Machine does have +1/+1 upgrades, and this is a pretty tank-heavy army, so maybe Maars can get caught in a bad timing.
Yeah, it definitely is powerful to start tech switching between Hydras and Mutas and try and throw the Terran off guard. But right now, just this attack into Goliath and turrets is not the right move.
Yeah, that wasn't a great attack. Even though Machine is, Maars rather, is pretty low on Goliaths, and he still hasn't gotten vessels up. I guess he only has 1 port making, and he actually made a dropship first. Yeah, it's still not working out.
Yeah, the Sports CC is going to get spotted on the way over. Meanwhile, there's going to be a drop in the Zerg main, probably vultures. While tanks drop into the main. But meanwhile, this Mute is flying into the main. Goliath's having to come back and deal with it.
Is he just not even going back?
Guess not. Maars now is just pushing across the map. You know, the best way to force the Zerg back is to just start attacking their natural.
Yeah, I really like this decision, actually. I mean, Maars is going to take a lot of damage in his main, but Goliaths produce relatively quickly, and they're relatively tanky too, so...
Yeah.
It takes the Mutas a long time to clear the Goliaths, and by the time they are clear, there's going to be another wave of Goliaths coming out. So
right.
I think this is actually the correct decision.
Yeah, tank's getting on top of the rally point, so any new Hydras that spawn are just going to get obliterated immediately. Meanwhile, Goliath spawning and just starting to whittle down this meter count.
GG. I really liked Machine's starting position there, but it seemed like he was just never able to get like a critical amount of drones up and start working into like his late game kind of like army scalability.
Yeah, after that first push that took out so many drones, he was just never able to get the economy up to fight the mech army.
Yeah, it's super important that like you identify your droning windows against mech and you really take advantage of them, because like you really want to have a ton of drones and just like as many hatcheries as possible pumping units. The only way, like, mech is just so strong, you just need to overwhelm them with sheer numbers.
I always say that Terran mech either looks completely overpowered or just completely silly. And if you get that economy where you can just overwhelm them, it's just the mech can't do anything. But if you don't get that drone count up, that's just you just get rolled.
Right. So it looks like our next map is going to be Hitchhiker.
Ooh.
So how do you feel about Hitchhiker? Have you played it at all?
I've never played it. I've watched all the ASL maps I could watch on it. It looks like a interesting map, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like it'll be Mars in top left, and Machine in bottom right. Same colors as before. Just they're into the bluish gray and the magenta.
I know a common build for Terran on this map that Flash sort of introduced was to build a factory on, like, for Mars it would be the top side of the alleyway and then just float it across.
Mm-hmm.
And then just start rallying vultures into the Zerg main because it's wide open.
Right. Yeah, that sounds super abusive. Yeah, I feel like one base builds in general are pretty common on Hitchhiker because it's insanely hard to defend the natural.
Yeah, like it's wide open plus an insanely short rush distance between the two naturals.
Yeah, and I think for that reason it's also kind of like a little Zerg favored.
Yeah.
But I feel like Machine is known for being like a pretty consistent, like straight up macro player. So
Ooh.
I don't know. Despite the fact that he has like a lot of experience under his belt, I'm not so sure if this map will like play to his strengths.
Alright, so we're gonna see a proxy 8 Rex out of Mars.
And it looks like we'll be seeing a 9 pool from Machine actually. So
oh jeez, I don't know. How does this work out? I think the 9 pool will just be able to get on top of the barracks. Oh no, that's overpool.
My bad. Yeah. So yeah. I think this is pretty much like a straight up build order one here. Machine is going to get a relatively decent economy going, and he's going to completely shut down any damage whatsoever from the 8 Rex.
Yeah.
I honestly think the Machine is just going to kill Mars with the first 6 lanes, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if Mars can get a scout off and recognize this early. Also following up with gas, so maybe he'll just follow up with vultures behind it. So,
yeah, that's a pretty common follow-up, yeah. Just remains to be seen if he'll do a proxy factory like you were saying, or just do a factory in base.
I think you would have to do it in the main, wouldn't you? Because if your 8Rex does get overwhelmed, then you just, if you have your factory all the way across the map, you're just screwed.
Yeah, definitely.
He is going to see the hatchery timing with that SCV. See exactly what build he's up against. Because of that, it looks like he's going to keep his Marines at home, so probably not going to take a lot of damage. Maybe if he gets a bunker down, he surely won't.
Yeah. I don't think he even needs a bunker. He, like you said, he was able to scout it early enough. Okay, he actually is bunkering in the low ground. So yeah, I guess that points towards him wanting to expand.
Yeah, he'll be completely safe against the Lynx coming in, and then he'll probably try and follow up with the vultures. Do you see an SCV at the top of the map? So I wonder if that's going to go build a factory. He is trying to avoid that overlord.
Yeah, but Machine didn't overling too much, and he got a pretty
There's the factory.
a pretty fast layer. So we'll see if he's able to get his fire up. This is really scary though. Like honestly, do you just have to sunken your main as Zerg here?
Depending on the muta timing, it might be quick enough because the factory was delayed a little bit. It might be quick enough to have mutas out when the vultures show up. The question is, will it be scouted? He does have an overlord in the center of the map on the bottom, so I wonder if those will see when the factory lands and rallying vultures. If he scouts it, he can just keep his mutas at home and deal with the vultures.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice his overlord didn't see the SCV going to make that factory, did it?
It saw it in like the edge of its vision, but whether he actually saw it is a different story. But he does see the lack of a command center, so he knows it's some sort of tech build. So we will see a 1-1-1 to follow up the 8Rex.
Oh
but
my!
Yeah, that
is it going to catch it?
That overload is right in the perfect position. Maybe.
No, but his Lings will catch it.
Yep, Lings will catch it.
Perfect timing.
and Ling Speed's finish, so he should be able to get his Lings over there by the time of Ultra finishes.
Yeah, for sure. It should be okay.
Mhm.
It's pretty easy to micro against a slow Vulture with Speedlings.
Yeah. At the same time, though, with those Lings going back toward the bottom of the map, the Marines are going to push across the map. The Sunken isn't done. These Marines could do a lot of damage. Oh, the Ling's catching the Vulture immediately.
Yeah,
and the Sunken finishing just in time.
So Machine is looking really good right now.
Yeah.
Spire almost finished.
And still no second command center for Mars. He's still just on one base.
A little bit of silver lining for Mars here is that Machine did pump some extra Lings just to make sure that he held off both the Marines and the Vultures. So his mutas are going to be a little delayed.
Okay, so Mars gonna open up with a Wraith, so we'll see if it can do anything, or probably just kite the mutas around a little bit, but the mutas should be out pretty soon, so it shouldn't be able to do any damage.
Yeah, one Vulture, I mean, Vultures are like paper planes against, I mean, Wraiths are like paper planes against mutas.
So. Oh yeah. Yeah, these Vultures just getting shut down pretty handily. Even though he's rallying them, the Lings are just fending them off until the mutas come out.
Yeah, the mutas are out now, these shouldn't do any damage.
One Vulture, only one Vulture remaining for...
And he's still pumping these, his natural is going to be so late. I feel like this is a kind of a blunder here. I mean, he's taking towards the vessel, but I feel like Machine is going to have total air control and he can just snipe it with Scourge.
Yeah, it's all about keeping that one vessel alive. You can stay on one base and try and hit her like a timing with that first vessel with a radiate. If you can get that good a radiate off, you can maybe bust a natural. But it's pretty much just putting all your eggs in one basket for that one push.
Yeah, and he keeps trying to delay with these Vultures, but it's just a mineral sink. It's delaying both his expansion and any more barracks. It looks like he's getting a second barracks up now. Oh,
that Wraith going down. Yeah, Range is getting taken out. Yeah. Oh my god. All the Marines getting taken out, getting on top of the turret and just whittling it down with the mutas.
Yeah, this is pretty much GG, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that vessel going down as soon as it comes out. Oh, that's painful.
Yeah, it's GG. I mean, Machine did take a lot of damage from the turrets, but it's not nearly enough.
Yeah.
You can basically just rally into Mars's main now.
Yeah. Muta's just... He's never going to be able to regain control over his natural. Losing so many Marines in the process, just any kind of push capacity is just gone.
I mean... I feel like I've probably lost games like this before, where it seems like there's no way you can do something to lose his Zerg, but then Terran keeps making turrets and gets a couple vessels up. But still, yeah. I think it's pretty far-fetched.
He just has to not overcommit and try and, if Mars does hit a great irradiate and get all those mutas down to really low health, he could try and push across the map. But if Machine just, plays it safe, tries to pick off on the edges of the base, and, gets his Scourge out to try and get that vessel when it comes across the map, he should be in good shape.
So Machine looking to take his third now. Machine... I kind of wish he would get an extra macro hatchery or two as well. It's just really pressing advantage even further. Like, if he had more larvae, where he could actually spend all of his gas and get some speedlings going, this game would be completely over right now.
Yeah. Looks like he's transitioning into Hydras, probably for lurkers, I'd assume.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be another one condition. I mean, I don't think Mars is going to be able to get out of his base by the time lurker is finished.
Yeah. And even then, there would only be one comsat, so you'd have very limited scans to try and take out those lurkers if the vessel were to go down.
Right. So we can see the Queen's Nest coming as well, so I kind of expect Machine to just play it safe, play it conservatively, and just wait until he gets the filers up.
Oh yeah.
He does seem like a player that's very patient, not someone who will just try to go all in and go for the kill.
Oh, he doesn't even have a comsat yet.
Oh, that's absolutely crazy.
Oh, there it is. Just started right now. See, he's gonna have very limited scans if the lurkers are to get on the field, and then if the filers come out, it's just not gonna look good for him.
I mean, Machine can basically go take the whole map right now.
Yeah. Factory getting taken out. Oh my god. So many lurkers.
Yep, 7 lurkers on the way. Maars doesn't have control of his choke right now.
You can just get those lurkers on top of the barracks, then it's over.
Yeah. I mean, it just took him so long to get the barracks up. 10 minutes into the game, having 2 barracks producing is not really what you want to be seeing as a Terran player.
Yeah, exactly. Or a Terran player behind 20 supply.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Machine almost has as many lurkers as
oh my god. One vessel goes down immediately. Lurkers repositioning on top of the barracks, and Maars GG's.
Really well played by Machine there.
Yeah.
He basically countered every single thing that Maars did.
Yep. He even scouted out that floating barracks and took out the vultures before they got any drones.
Yeah, and anticipated the Iraqs.
Yep.
Well, that's like the safest possible opening against the Iraqs.
Yep.
Okay, so it looks like there'll be a little bit of a delay in between the next game.
All right.
But I guess the next map will be Optimizer.
Yes, so you have what, Avalon, Optimizer, and Tau Cross. I think as a Terran player, just auto picking Optimizer.
Yeah. Dude, Optimizer is absolutely insane. Whether you go bio or mech, I would expect to see mech from Maars here, because like mech with the second gas in the main. Like, for those who are unfamiliar, Optimizer actually has 2 gases in every main, one with 4,000 gas and one with 1,000 gas. So the net amount of gas in each main is the same as like a standard map, but you can mine it twice as fast, right? So this allows a mech player to get both the backbone of their army with Goliath up, but also get vessels and tanks. Whereas normally you have to kind of pick one if you're on a regular amount of gas. So this shuts down both Mass Muta and Mass Hydra, and it makes it really, really hard for a Zerg to deal with.
Who was it? Was it Sarid that did that 6-fac Goliath build on Optimizer?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I've kind of wiped all the pro ZVTs on Optimizer from my memory.
But yeah, that extra gas just gives you so much more utility when you mech.
Yeah, it's really hard. Assuming the players are of similar skill level, I'm really not sure what Zerg is supposed to do against mech.
Oh, yeah, so it does look like it'll be Optimizer. Spawning in the top left, again in the magenta, we have Maars. In the bottom right, our gray Zerg, we have Machine.
Yeah, so how do you feel about these positions?
Cross spawn, I think, definitely favors Zerg compared to close spawn, just because that rush distance is a little bit farther away to push across the map. Although with cross position, it definitely opens up that horizontal, like the 3 or 9 o'clock third base for Terran once you mine out the natural minerals, and it's really hard for Zerg to get over there and actually contest it.
Yeah, for sure. The one silver lining for Zerg is it's really especially bad to like be like vertical positions. So at least Machine can take his third
right
basically for free. And then, yeah, I mean, like the nightmare scenario would be not being able to take that third, having it be contested by the Terran, and then having to
Yeah.
take like an outside third gas.
Where do you normally take your third as Zerg? Would you take it like in this position where you take the 5.5 or?
I would take it at 3 o'clock.
Okay, like you would wait. Oh, okay. Would your natural minerals be mined out before you take a third, or?
Yeah, I would float a drone for sure and take it before them.
Oh, I gotcha. I guess the odds of Terran going for a vulture drop are pretty low in that scenario.
Yeah. Vulture drops are fairly uncommon. I guess Terran could float a factory, but that's also pretty unlikely.
Yeah, it'd be pretty risky too.
You do know sometimes Terrans like to float a factory into your main because it's kind of hard if you're not prepared for it with overlords. The mains are fairly large, so. But it doesn't look like Maars is going mech at all.
Yeah, yep, no gas so far, so he's probably going to end up going bio here.
Yeah, and kind of, Terran bio is still really strong on Optimizer, but I feel like it gives the Zerg a little more breathing room, especially because these are cross positions, right? So
right.
Machine can get his third up very quickly, and he doesn't have to worry about it being attacked by land. So he only has to defend his one choke. And actually, like a pretty good option, I think, with 4 gas would be going kind of like just Muta straight into Ultra and going like a crazy Zerg style.
Okay. Oh, he is going 3 hatch.
Yeah, kind of surprising, really, but I don't know. You can still go crazy Zerg off of either 2 hatch or 3 hatch.
You would probably rather go against 2 hatch, right? Because now Maars can get a really quick +1, right?
Yeah, and upgrades are really good against crazy Zerg, but I don't know. Still, having 4 gases available for those fast ultras is really, really nice. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what machine goes for here.
Scout going down really early, though. But it does look like we're going to see that engineering bay for something like a +1 5-Rex.
Yeah. I guess I'm guessing machine is kind of more comfortable with 3 hatch Muta. That does seem to be like a more kind of old school build.
Right.
So maybe it's just his like comfort zone pick, but I don't know.
Yeah. I know Larva still likes to go do a lot of 3 hatch because that's sort of what he came up in. He came in that era of 3 hatch Muta being the meta.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like it's first of all it's cross maps, so Maars can be super greedy. And then he's already going the +1 5-Rex. I feel like that's just such a strong build for Zerg to deal with.
Oh yeah, I think that's pretty much why Zerg stopped going 3 hatch.
yeah, it's just really hard to keep map control when Terran can just like pump like an insane amount of M&M and get super early upgrades. I mean, if going 3 hatch, I almost would have wished Machine would just like straight up take his 3rd expansion with his 3rd hatch.
With cross spawn, it probably would have gone uncontested. We do see the Spire going down, so it looks like we're going to see 3 hatch Muta. Maars getting his academy and +1 started, so it's like we're going to see +1 5-Rex versus 3 hatch Muta.
Yeah, it's going to plop down the 4th and the 5th Rex anytime now. Is this normal? Do Terrans usually pull SCVs off of gas?
Yeah, usually you pull them earlier and put them on when your academy starts. Maybe he just kept them on gas earlier a little bit longer. But yeah, we do see those 5-Racks going down.
Looks like Machine is taking his 3rd now.
Yeah, although once you get your range started, you can pull all but 1 SCV off gas, because you're just going to be wanting to pump Marines and Medics, which don't cost a lot of gas.
Other than that, just completely standard by both players so far.
Yeah, and we see he did jump the drone and took the 3 o'clock expansion.
Right.
Can I have a lot of Sunkens down?
Yeah, I'm surprised he's adding those so soon. His Ling Scout died, but
I think this is a little bit of an overreaction.
Maybe he didn't see the Marines when they killed it, 'Cause it's a super small force right now.
Right.
I feel like Machine should have anticipated that it was plus 1/5 racks based on the amount of Marines, but also adding Lings, that's really surprising. I do think he's playing a little overcautious here. Muta's on the way, it looks like. His mutas, it's going to take him a while to get up to 9 mutas because of those Lings and Sunkens.
Right. He looks like he still has 300 gas in the bank, so there's 3 mutas that haven't been produced yet.
Yeah, but sorry, go on.
By the time he gets across that map, the +1 will probably be done, so he's just not going to have any time where he has an advantage against the M&M.
Yeah, not done quite yet, but 2 groups of Marines.
Yeah,
Towards up already. He should be completely fine against any Mulus Rest. The only thing is, I don't really like Mars's turret placement that much. In the natural, it's okay, but I kind of wish they were on the side of the main minerals. And if Machine pokes into Mars's main...
Oh yeah, the main turrets are way off.
Yeah, that's essentially just like hoping that you're playing against a Zerg who comes in from the side and gets afraid. But if Machine goes in and finds that hole there, he can do a ton of damage. It looks like he's just going to follow the M&M army for now.
Yeah, for now, once this M&M army gets on the map with +1, you just have to respect it. You can't dive into the main, because if it gets all across to your natural, those Sunkens will just melt immediately.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do think he could play to his strengths with those early Sunkens and just add 3-4 more Sunkens and just defend that one choke and then go kind of counterattack if Mars tries to move out.
Yeah, looks like he's going quick hive, adding another Sunken too.
And is that an Evo or a Hydra Den at Machine's natural? Okay.
Evo. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this will be Crazy Zerg, actually.
Yeah. So then Maars will probably be looking to find a timing before Ultras pop and see if he can't bust that natural. A little bit of a supply block here. Maars blocked at 92/92. But he is working his way across the map with like at least 2 or 3 groups of bio here.
Yeah, this is really scary for Machine, actually. He needs more Sunkens.
Yep, adding 2 more, but will they be done in time is the question. If he just stims in and goes right now, could be in a little bit of trouble. These mutas definitely worth their weight in gold, delaying those last group of bio.
Yeah, catching that group out is really, really good. They got a lot of value.
Yeah, it'll delay enough for these last 2 Sunkens to finish. After that stem, you always question, are they actually going to go for it? Looks like he's going to try and go for it, and sees all the Sunkens and falls back immediately.
Yeah, that was really scary for a second there, but the kind of mishandling of it by Maars, letting like almost a full group of Marines get caught out by the mutas, plus the hesitation there, letting Machine get the Sunkens up in time.
Yeah. So now, if he's scanned and saw the Ultra's Cavern, he should be just powering up on those upgrades, getting his M&M force out there and teching the vessels.
Yeah, I think this is Machine's game now, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like Maars definitely going to go into full SK Terran, adding 2 of those starports on. Going to be pumping 2 vessels at a time. Meanwhile, Machine just checking straight into those Ultras.
Maars seems consistent. First of all, I feel like he's really, really...
Oh, those medics getting caught out.
And then,
3 medics go down.
And consistently mismicroing these large groups in them. That really, really hurts. Cause
oh, yeah. 5 medics goes down, that's 120. That's half a vessel right there.
Yeah. And he was already low on medics, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And supply disparity isn't even that great any longer. Machine is just doing exactly what he wants to do.
Yep, starting to add those Ultralists, getting those upgrades, and once he gets that chitinous plating, if Mars's attack upgrades aren't up to par with machines, those ultras are just going to be near invincible to try and take out.
Yeah, and he's shutting down this third.
Oh, that's painful.
He has his fourth gas in his main up in mining. He's getting macro hatcheries. He's just going to start blowing up pretty soon, taking his fifth gas.
Yeah, once they get us up to fourth gas, that's just a nightmare scenario. And now he's going to add his fifth. That's just going to be a nightmare to deal with. Although that fourth will mine out pretty soon, so... But even a 4-gas Zerg is just a nightmare scenario when you're playing SK Terran, because it's pretty much designed to just keep Zerg on 3-gas.
Yeah, and Crazy Zerg is... Like, it skips lurkers, right? So you don't have to spend as much gas, and you can go ultra off of 3-gas, but skipping the lurkers and going ultra off 4-gas is, like, just insanely good. I'm actually really surprised that Maars decided not to go mech.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good map for mech. Mita's gonna fly and confirm the third base.
You can actually just straight up
fight
these.
Yep. It's like he's playing it safe.
Yeah.
The battle's gonna come down and maybe an irradiate on these Mitas will force them away, or they'll just fly away. Yeah, I wonder if Maars will add in some dropships and maybe try and, keep Machine back from pushing across the map, dealing with drops.
I don't know. I mean, as long as Machine keeps his wings alive, or his meters alive, rather, there's not really too much to do.
Big fight in the middle of the map. Radiate's going down on Ultras, but those Radiate Ultras getting on top of the Marines, just melting them left and right.
Yeah, that was really one-sided.
Terran players, close your eyes, because this is a horror movie.
Getting the vessels and the entire Marine medic force is absolutely brutal. Which you don't want to be irradiating the ultras when they're right by your army. You want to be dematrixing Marines.
Yeah, you want to be irradiating them when they're at their base and you're at yours. That drop, though, it seems Machine didn't actually spot it as it's flying in toward the third, but the Sunkens there might actually just be enough to keep it at bay.
I would think so, yeah. The wings are just a few seconds away from reinforcing them.
Yeah, Mita's flying in, just cleaning that up easily.
Yeah, see, Machine is actually such a patient player, it's really impressive. I would have sacked my meters earlier just to try to delay his third a little bit, which isn't even saturated yet. Just killed the Marines straight up. But Machine saved all of his mutas, so he's able to just completely shut down any drops.
Yeah, and now we have a 147 supply Zerg to a 120 supply Terran. Never fun when you're going Gunsling Ultra.
Yeah, up to 4 carapace now. Maars doing okay on the attack upgrades, but still, this is such a favorable position for Machine.
Oh yeah, he's only got 4 vessels to radiate. There's so many ultras, he can't irradiate every single one of them. Ultras just flowing into the natural, just mowing down these Marines. Trying to use the Sim City to his advantage and try and filter these ultras into a choke, forcing them back.
I mean, I think Machine was correct to fall back there, but yeah, I don't know. I still don't think there's anything Maars can do to come back. Oh my god, there's a big drop in the main.
Oh jeez, yeah. Looks like it killed all the drones. Took out the Queen's Nest, I think? Ooh, but Scourge taking down the dropship anyway.
Yeah, taking down the Ultra Den. So that's a pretty...
Oh, it was the Ultra Cavern.
I mean, he's still super behind, but
yeah,
one way to start working your way back in is killing all the drones and just killing the main source of your woes, which is the Ultra Den.
Yeah. So, radiating the low Ultra, so not getting a ton of damage in, but still better than nothing. So yeah, Maars surviving the Zerg, crazy Zerg machine for now, so...
Yeah, and like I was saying before, the advantage for Zerg is early game they only have 1 choke to defend, right? Battlefield
Yep.
applies to Mars now, so he can survive for as long as he wants, basically, and mine through that third base. Wait until he has like 3 upgrades. So unless Machine starts teching into Defilers, if he just stays on Ultra only, he's on kind of a timer a little bit.
Has he rebuilt the Ultralisk Cavern? I don't see it.
It doesn't look like it, no. What is he spending his gas on?
I don't know. Oh, there it is. He just rebuilt it. Looks like we're going to see the Ultra Ling try and catch these Marines off guard in the middle of the map. They're a little bit spread out in the line.
Yeah. Oh my god, this was a terrible, terrible position for Mars to get caught in.
Ultra's getting super good surface area on these Marines.
That was exactly what Machine wanted. Like, if you look up the best possible engage for a Zerg in the dictionary, that's what you see.
Now these vessels just getting caught off between the Zerg army and the Marines. 2 of them getting taken down.
Meanwhile, is that a... yeah, there was an eraser at the bottom expansion.
Oh, jeez.
But
At the same time, though, Machine has 1,800 minerals. He can replace those drones pretty easily. I'd like to see him add some more macro hatches.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. Mars keeps chipping away at the economy of Machine here, but he's still taking really bad trades like all the time while he's doing it. He's losing vessels left and right.
Yeah.
Taking really bad engages with his Marines and medics. I mean, being only on 4 vessels 18 minutes into the game is pretty bad.
Yeah, you need to be laying those irradiates down on all the Ultralisks before they get to your base. Whittle them down to at least half health or less before your Marines start to engage them. It does seem like he's doing a decently good job at that, but there's just so many Ultras left over.
And what upgrades is Mars on now?
He probably should have +3 pretty soon. He has 2-2, so +3 should be finishing up pretty soon.
Another dropship going to take out the expansion at bottom left, but maybe Ling's be able to clean it up? Who doesn't even notice it?
Plus this one at the top looks like it's going to get taken out by Scourge. I think that drop in the bottom was intended for either the main or that 6 o'clock, but Flex is inevitably going to find this base in the bottom left. Marines stemming in, just going to focus down that hatch. Or maybe go for drones? Yep. That hatch is going to die really quickly on those upgraded Marines.
Yeah,
+3 done right now.
But at the same time, Machine can kind of afford to just throw hatcheries down at like whatever bases he wants right now.
Yeah. Just gas that he needs. Mars, on the other hand, has a lot of gas saved up, so he should be able to keep pumping out those vessels left and right. 4th going down at the 11.5, so if he can actually maintain that, maybe he can start to claw his way back into this game if he keeps stamping out expansions.
Yeah, I honestly wish Mars would have gotten like 3 starport vessel, because like you said, you have all this gas income from the 4 gases.
Yep.
You have 2,500 gas right now. There's like two starport is meant for like a regular map with regular gas income, where usually it's going to be like quite a while before Terran even gets a 3rd gas, let alone a 4th.
So we do see the physics lab, so it looks like we'll start to see battlecruisers, which are pretty inefficient to deal with Scourge alone. So if there are no defilers out with Plague, those battlecruisers can be super efficient. Now that we're dropping the main, it looks like it's getting cleaned up before it does too much damage, but still pulling some of the army back from Machine.
Yeah, it's not too much of an issue for Machine, honestly. Honestly, I really just think like Mars would be in such a command right now if he would just find a way to like put this excess gas in something.
Vessels going down from the Scourge. Irradiate's going on a little bit too late after those Ultralisks are already on top of the Marines. Marines getting a good position here in this choke. So the Ultralisks are fighting pretty efficiently, but some Ultras going to that 12 o'clock to take down this expansion and force it to lift off.
Yeah, I don't know. It still looks good for Machine, but
oh yeah,
I'm a little worried though, because like I said, I think he's on kind of a timer. If he refuses to incorporate defilers into his army,
Yeah,
Mars's army is just going to keep getting more and more efficient.
right. We did see that Defiler Den going down, so hopefully he'll start to add in Darkstorm and Plague. I think Plague is really the way where you start gaining huge advantages.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you can get Plague on the vessels. I think... Go on.
We do see Machine trying to lay down more bases in bottom left and that 6.5. Looks like Maars is trying to make a beeline. Maybe Machine can get a good position on this army and try and take it out and corner it. Maars' saving grace has been falling back to his natural and just fighting in a choke. These Ultras kind of just filtering down one by one and getting slaughtered by this Marine Medic.
Yeah, even here, Maars was able to get into position, and these kind of like top and bottom bases are... If you let the Baron get there, there's like no way you're going to save these expansions. It's super hard to attack into these small narrow corridors.
Yeah. Jeez, Maars taking blood from a stone, finding new life here late in the game, as he's able to push out and take out the 6 o'clock expansion.
Yeah, I think Machine is actually in a really tough spot right now. His 5th gas getting shut down. His 4th gas is probably already mined out.
Battlecruiser starting to filter in. He just seemingly has no answer for him. Scourge deal them very inefficiently as Battlecruisers one-shot Scourge and take out a few before they even get there.
Yeah, and his gas is just so low right now. 7 kills. I think Maars actually held on for long enough. It's looking pretty bad for Machine right now.
On the other hand, it looks like Maars is only mining from that 9 o'clock, and it's almost mined out. So if Machine can somehow keep him off this new base in the top, then maybe he can find a way back to victory?
Yeah, but Maars can kind of just sit there now, I think, and let the Battlecruisers do their work. And just defend that expansion and get 2 bases mining. I think he should be okay.
I wonder how far out Defilers are. I did see him make one, so maybe he's just researching Plague and maybe hasn't built one yet? I don't know. Your scans going down everywhere, searching for those new bases. Searching for that army. Looks like we will see we engage in the middle of the map. Ultra's getting on top of this Marine Medic. Irradiated Ultra is just mowing down these Marines.
I honestly can't believe that Maars is out on the map like that. But it looks like he's still okay.
Yeah, Marine Medic reinforcements filtering down. It looks like he's going to take out every Ultralisk in this army. I don't know, has Maars done it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much all but over right now. I mean, Machine just has no gas whatsoever. He's finally getting started mining from the bottom left, but I don't think he can defend it. He's just trying to counterattack Mars's top base. And Maars is super broke right now.
Yeah, we do see this counterattack. Maybe he can force Maars to make the decision base trade here, essentially. Both his 3 o'clock should be low on money, and Machine, at the other hand, is only mining from the 9.
Yeah, I feel like Zerg never wants to go into a base trade scenario with Terran, because Terran will win like 90% of the time.
Oh yeah. Floating buildings are good.
But still, I'm honestly kind of surprised that Maars was playing that aggressively out on the map. Like I said, I feel like the more secure play would have been to just like sit and wait and let his, second base kick in.
Yeah.
And then he could easily take, 12 o'clock after 11 o'clock is established.
So we do see Machine taking the top right, so maybe he can take and establish that, and now if he can defend that and then also just threaten counterattacks on that 12. Or I guess 11 and a half.
Yeah, I mean, Machine is abusing his mobility right now. Maars is getting pulled in a lot of different directions. But it looks like there's going to be another big fight right in the middle.
I think we're like in a weird spot where like the Zerg army is just going to be so much more mobile than that Marine medic. And even Irradiate going down on an Overlord.
Yeah, Machine is also doing a really nice job keeping the vessels away from his, Ultralists and his main army with these Scourge.
Yeah. At the same time, though, that vessel count is getting pretty high. There's just been no real response from Machine on those vessels.
Yeah, and the Ultra count is super low, too. Just only 4 Ultras, mainly.
Oh,
Ooh,
good Scourge
really
taking
good.
out 3 vessels. Still, though, he will have to invest that gas to replace those Scourge.
Where is Mars going?
I think he's just trying to posture the army, threaten to take out Machine's new bases, but does he know about top right?
I don't think he does. He hasn't made any motions towards there whatsoever. Seems to think that Machine has bases in the bottom left still.
Yeah, so now Machine can... Oh, it looks like he's just starting to clue in and start to push toward the top right. At the same time, Machine pushing behind him.
And Machine did set up the Nidus to go defend this top right, but it's just going to die instantly.
Yeah, it's going to take it out.
Still no Defilers. That's absolutely insane to me.
Yeah. I think that's going to turn out to be the death of him, as, you know, no Plague, no Dark Storm for those Ultras to benefit from.
Yeah. I know I've heard Nyokin mention it before in like BSL casts and stuff, but it's like players get kind of tunnel visioned when they go into crazy Zerg strategies like this, where they think like they can only build Ultras. They just keep doing that the entire game. But, you know, while there is for sure like a nice timing with only Ultras with builds like this, you know, eventually it's still cost effective to go into an on-the-right game.
Yeah. Jeez, all the Ultras getting taken out. Now I think Maars just has free reign to go wherever he wants on the map.
Yeah, Machine's economy is completely dried up now. I don't think there's anything you can do to come back in this game. But, I mean, Maars is dead broke as well. So
I think
pretty much anything can happen.
I think both players are pretty broke, but I think just Maars has the stronger army on the map. Just going to be able to deny any new base.
Yeah, I don't see a way that Machine is going to be able to take down this army unless Maars, like, over and over again just takes the worst possible trades.
After this, pushing to 12 o'clock is going to force Mars' army back. Maybe he can delay a little bit more to get a few more Ultralists out. Nope, Marine's filtering down and just going to start whittling away at these drones really fast and just take out the hatchery.
Yeah, I think Machine has a total of like 5 drones on minerals right now.
He is mining from...
6 drones mining from 4 patches.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Mars seems to have made the comeback.
Yeah, it's still a little bit of a precarious position because he can't actually break Machine right now. And I guess he never figured out about the 12 o'clock expansion.
I don't know, can he? He's got a lot of Marine medic. He can, with +3/+3, he can probably take a lot of these Sunkens out, if not all of them.
Yeah, maybe. Again, if Machine just had 1 Defiler,
right,
he'd be totally fine. But no.
Jeez, they're both last mining base. They're right next to each other.
Yeah, that's something you don't see very often.
Irradiate's going down on drones.
You might as well just erase her.
Oh, I think he just scanned it.
The only base left on the map that could possibly be taken.
Yep. Marine medic going up to try and deal with it. You can take down this Nidus before anything goes through it. This base will just be cut to dry, but Ling's filtering out just in time, taking out all the medic.
Lings will be coming through there though, so I think Maars is totally fine. Oh, okay,
yeah. Vessels coming up. Radiating, defense matrixing Marines, and everything looks like it's gonna be taken out.
Yeah, this is game. Well played by Machine, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. Wow. So how do you feel about that as Zerg,
I
having a
mean,
lead like that and then
I would be heartbroken because Machine was in such a commanding lead, but he was just never able to actually kill Mars. Mars was able to turtle up and make sure he got his upgrades going, even though he was only on, 2-port vessel. He was able to get a pretty sizable, vessel cloud, and Machine just never ended up making defilers. So there's really no way to kill a turtling Terran if they're, persistent enough without
yeah,
without defilers.
need that dark swim, man?
Yeah, so it looks like the players are kind of exhausted after that 30-minute ZVT, though. So
No,
short break.
they're not allowed.
Man,
Playing Food War for 30 minutes straight isn't tiring at all. What are you talking about?
honestly, like, I feel so bad for Machine. I mean, I'm a Zerg player, so obviously I'm a little biased, but like, God. I mean, first of all, I don't know. I feel like Mars could have prepared a little bit better for that map. Mech is super strong, but also like, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but like, you have 4 gases. That's not an opportunity that you have very often when you're Terran and TVZ. So like, you know, play to the map strengths. The only interesting thing about these like weird maps is how you can actually, create new strategies. So like, big 3 or 4 ports even, and just have like an insane amount of vessels, or have like 2 ports making vessels and 2 ports making battle cruisers or something. Like there's so many different options that you could do, or
Yeah.
like 2 ports and like a factory producing a bunch of tanks. I mean, yeah, it was just kind of not the most inspiring strategy, I guess. How do you think you would approach this map if you were TVZing on it, optimizing?
uh, I'd probably open mech, but even if I did go buy against 3 hatch, there is definitely the possibility of a mech switch. It's like if you
Yeah,
can secure, like if you have those 4 gases and then you can secure the bottom left and get 3 more, like you just have an insane amount of gas to get like an unbeatable mech army.
yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end of the game there, Mars still had like 4,000 gas. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. And yeah, the other alternative is just to add like 3 more starports and just start pumping battle cruisers.
Yeah, I guess you have to start. You can't do too many vessels because then it just gets like unbearable. Like you can't actually control that many vessels.
There's like not enough to irradiate at one time.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost the same deal as like High Templar and PVZ, where like especially like CPL level players, I always try to emphasize that like maybe they shouldn't have more than like 6 High Templar in the army at once because it's really hard to use them all. And maybe it would be better if you just had a couple Archons mixed in there that you didn't have to work so hard to control.
Right. And plus, since Storm doesn't stack, having like 10 High
Right.
Templar in a fight doesn't get you much more than 6.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty common, really, where you see these like ZVPs where it looks like the Protoss is absolutely destroying the Zerg in the first part of the fight, but it turns out that they just had a bunch of High Templar and they like run out of steam, and then there's just no backbone to the Protoss army, and they get cleaned up eventually. Anyway,
Right.
I guess the remaining maps are Tau Cross and Avalon.
So it looks like we're gonna see Tau Cross here.
And yeah, Tau Cross will be the 4th map. I really hope Machine can win here so we can still have a suspenseful 5th game, but the players will be playing each game out regardless of the result.
Okay, that'll be fun. We'll get to see a game on Avalon. I don't think I've ever seen any games.
So
All right.
anyway, spawning at the left position, we have Mars, our Magenta Terran, and top right, we have our bluish-gray Machine Media Zerg.
Alright, so spawn positions. I know that the 6 o'clock is just obscenely a nightmarish scenario for Terran, but it looks like neither will be spawning there, so I think this spawn position isn't terrible for turrets as Terran because your gas is up on the side of your natural. but still, it's just incredibly wide open and just so much room for mutas to get in.
Yeah, for sure. Really vulnerable to mutas, definitely, and naturals are a little kind of wonky too. There's like a lot of high ground cliffs around it, and they're pretty wide open. And if you can control the choke a little bit with mutas, you can definitely punish a Terran if they're not staying on their toes. At the same time, I kind of also like drop play, like lurker drops and so on.
Oh
because
yeah.
the mains are just so wide open.
Also, I wonder.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
I would be surprised if we saw any like lurker drop play from Machine, honestly, but still, one can hope.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see like a tank drop on that high ground on the natural. You can ferry your Marines up there, then follow up with your tanks, and just incredibly hard for Terran or Zerg to deal with.
That would be some truly old school play, Lost Temple type stuff before Zerg knew how to micro mutas. I feel like it's extremely unlikely.
Shafir says, Kian bias commentator, please remove him. Won't stand for this.
I mean, it's true. I am definitely biased. I mean, look, ZVT is by far the hardest matchup in the game, and there's nothing anyone can say that'll change my mind on that. So, of course, I'm going to root for the Zerg here. Come on.
I think it's a little like the matchup is just so incredibly volatile compared to any other one. Just any fight can go either way if either player makes a slight mistake.
Yeah, the thing about ZVT for me is like the fights can go either way, sure, but like the whole game can go south like instantly if like there's a 8 Marine drop, for example, in your main and you aren't prepared for it, and then like all your tech buildings and all your drones die. Like if you just don't respond perfectly to everything, then you just die.
Yeah, sounds fun.
But it looks like it's just gonna be a 2-hatch muta play from Machine here.
2-hatch muta versus Bio from Maars, so we'll see some old school play on this old school map. Well, I guess 2-hatch isn't that old school, but close enough.
Yeah, I mean there are variations of both 2 and 3-hatch were around for quite a while. I feel like what year was it that Zergs finally figured out how to micro mutas? Probably around like 2005, 2006. They learned how to attack mutas. So I feel like 2-hatch was probably a thing ever since then. Maybe even before then. But yeah, the builds have definitely got more streamlined over the years.
Yeah, I know it was a thing, but I don't think it really like rose to dominance until like relatively recently. Like what, 2015, 2016? I know a lot of 3-hatch play was pretty mainstream for a while.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's almost kind of a leak ass from Maars a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, you can definitely go the style where you pump out a lot of Marines early and delay tech a little bit. You can put a little bit more pressure on the Zerg. On the other hand, you're delaying range and you're delaying stem.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we'll see about a 410 Academy. So that's, it's normal, but on the later side.
Right. Looks like Machine is going to take another main as his third, which I do like. Because the close third is so wide open, it's basically impossible to defend if main is out on the map.
Do you have to take any extra precautions because it's not a high ground?
I don't know. The choke is really narrow, so I don't think so. I mean, if you get lurkers there, there's no way Terrans are going to break it before Vessels.
Gotcha. Would you need like an extra lurker? Like, would you need 3, or would the normal 2 be enough to handle it?
3 is usually the normal amount, even on high ground.
Okay. Let's see, Maars adding his engineering base, starting what I presume is STEM, adding his comsats. So looks like he's going to go right into T-Rex Academy play. Probably try and put a little bit of pressure on early. Not anything that'll try and push across the map, but just try and force these Ling back. Maybe force a Sunken or 2. Let's look at that Marine count, jeez.
Yeah.
Going up to 4 racks pretty quickly.
Is his eBay finished, or?
Yeah, but it looks like he might basically just start uh, defending by attacking here. If these Marines are out on the map, Machine can't just beeline to the main or risk losing his natural.
Yeah, they're pretty far out on the map already. And I do like that, too, because, like we were saying earlier, it's kind of awkward with the turrets. So you want to keep the Zerg on the back foot a little bit, try to threaten. But I don't know, this turret placement again kind of leaves something to be desired. Even with the map being a little wonky, there's just huge gaping holes.
Looks like Mars sent 2 fire bats out, one to the south, one to the north. Looks like one is going to get scouted, but the other one isn't. So we'll see if that can just run in and do some damage.
Please, Machine, just run in. Run in.
Muta's coming in, seeing turrets and retreating. Pretty quick Hydralisk then going down. Only after 7 Mutas. Gets turrets down in the natural, ready for these Mutas to fly in. That Firebat looks like it's looking for third base, but checked the 3 o'clock and didn't find it. Mutas flying in, taking out SCVs. Pretty good micro here.
Identifying some of the holes in the turret placement here.
Yeah.
You can really abuse these. Okay, well, they got through the choke, but I was hoping it would just keep snowballing here.
There's just so many high grounds for Machine to abuse.
Yeah. Yeah, these ridges are really tough for Terran to deal with.
That Firebat going down, scouting the third base. Let's see if it can't get a few drones before it gets spotted.
This is so annoying to deal with as a Zerg player.
Oh, but looks like Mars' APM being taxed and isn't paying attention to that Firebat.
Yeah. If he was able to start attacking the drones, it would be really devastating for Machine, but just attacking the extractor isn't really what you want to be doing.
Good idea, a little bit lacking on the execution, but
right.
Hard game.
Yeah. Maars is a little bit, more of an inexperienced tournament player, so could be a little bit of like tournament nerves, could be just a little bit of exhaustion just setting in. I mean, Brood War is a stressful game.
Looks like Muta's gonna fly in, start whirling down these turrets. Machine kind of not wise to the idea that Mars' army is almost halfway across the map. Mars looks like he's just gonna commit. Maybe?
Yeah.
A little bit of...
If Maars does commit, Machine only has the one sunk in there and really no army to speak of, so this could be really scary.
Machine just looks like he's tunnel visioning, just taking out these turrets. Nope. The army just gonna beeline toward the natural. No response yet from Machine. Muta's starting to realize and fly back, but is it gonna be too little too late?
I think Machine should be okay here if he can just like pull his drones back, make sure he doesn't lose too many, and try to like whittle down the Marine medics from the side with the Mutas. And wait until the workers are finished. It should be okay.
Drones popping. Marines stimming. Some Marines stimming into the main while the others fighting the Mutas. Lurkers popping in the natural, but Marines just running right by them. Oh my god, all the Mutas just getting slaughtered.
Okay, this
One
is
Lurker.
One
Lurker getting taken out. Marines still uncontested in the main. Lurker's trying to get in a good position to burrow, but the Marines taking one out immediately. Machine essentially just playing firefighter here with these Marines in his main base.
Yeah, this is really rough. Losing the Lurker really hurt. He can't do anything with this Lurker now, and yeah, it's just gonna get picked off. I think he's actually just dead here now.
Oh my god, Spire going down, Queen's Nest looks like it's soon to follow. Mars' SCV did take a lot of damage from Machine's Mutas, but might not matter at this point.
It doesn't matter so much when Terran takes SCV damage compared to when Zerg is having one base.
And losing all their tech.
Yeah, and all of their military.
Looks like he will finally clean this up, but so many Mutas dead, so much tech gone, so much lost mining.
There's only three Marines left, but he still can't actually kill them. I mean, he could even drone drill to kill them at this point. Not that it would matter, but at least he could finally start focusing on other things. But yeah,
looks like he did read your mind. And with this one lone Marine just fighting to the death. Drones coming in to finish the job.
Looks like Maars realizing that he's probably not going to be able to break the choke even with this huge disadvantage because there's probably lurkers there. So he's just going to twist the knife and go attack the natural again.
Those medics are going to be able to rejoin the army maybe, as the mutas can't kill them fast enough. More Marines just stimming in, attacking the unguarded natural, and Machine's just going to GG.
GG. Unfortunate, but they are going to play all the games out, so we will get to see a game on Avalon. I'm sure this will be a first for basically everyone viewing.
I want to see the weirdest builds we could possibly see.
Yeah, I hope Machine breaks something out that's just absolutely crazy, because there's, nothing on the line any longer, really.
Packer says this whole event was an elaborate excuse to have Tau Cross in a show match.
Interesting. I won't judge you for that, Packrat, but okay.
I mean, it was hard enough in the last season of CPL when you play a TVT and there's just tanks being dropped on every high ground you can find.
Based on the minimap, I have absolutely no idea what to make of this map. I guess it's maybe Zerg favorite. It looks like the naturals are really wide open.
I don't know. Who knows? Let's just have fun with it. Oh, there's like a back natural that has no gas on it. It's interesting. Alright, let's introduce the players. In the top right, we have the Grey Zerg. We have Machine. In the top left, we have the Magenta Terran. We have Maars.
Yeah, I do hope that both of the players actually just whip out something crazy. I don't know. I think they're both pretty set in their ways, though. We've seen a little more variation from Machine, with 3 hatch and overpool and 2 hatch.
I wonder if we'll see Maars break out mech, or if he'll just stick out with bio like he has the past couple games.
Yeah, I don't know. I think looking at the middle of this map, it might actually be the worst mech map of all time.
Yeah, it's just a sea of nothing.
Yeah, just a big ice lake.
I wonder if you have too many tanks sieged in one place, you break the ice and they all just fall through their death.
That would be nice, I mean, we need to do something to stop these Terrans.
Map makers, please balance this game. Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, it would obviously only apply to Terran because they have all this heavy machinery. Every other race is pretty light, I mean, Ultras are pretty big, but
yeah, I was gonna say Ultras would probably just get stuck on the ice and just fall through. I just imagine an Ultra trying to swim.
I guess that would be really problematic for lurkers too. They just dig straight through to their deaths.
Burrow lurker just dies immediately. Your lurker has frozen to death. But the important thing is...
Oh, sorry, go on.
So the important thing is we have the Terran music.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, upbeat.
Can you imagine anyone not liking this music? It's just so great.
Yeah, whenever I get this music, I turn my Spotify off and just, jam out.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's just one of those things that makes StarCraft a timeless classic.
Alright, so we'll get into the game here. Looks like we're seeing gasless for Maars, so we won't be seeing mech anytime soon. At the same time, just 12 hatch going down for Machine, but no gas yet, so we'll probably be seeing 3 hatch. Ooh, 3 hatch at the back natural. I like it. Yeah,
I wonder if he has something in mind to make use of this huge excess of minerals that he's going to be getting. I would love to see. I mean, it's not the most ideal strategy, but I always have a soft spot in my heart for Hydra Lurker or ZVT. Basically, it gets shut down whenever Terran decides to make a tank, but it's super fun to play and super fun to watch.
Alright, so Maars looks like he hasn't scouted it yet, so we'll see if the scout going the wrong direction and trying to go through that temple, derpy pathing of these old maps.
I wonder how old Avalon even is.
But I think I read it was like 2016, something like that.
2016. Oh wow. Okay. So that's actually relatively modern by Brood War standards.
Yeah, true. I don't think it ever made it into like an ASL or anything.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up after. Yeah, I mean maybe that would explain why I'm not familiar with it, because I did play Brood War before StarCraft 2 was released, but I quit for like 8 or 9 years.
So looks like the only leagues it was in was the Hungry App Star League with Kongdu. It's in 2015. Oh. I guess it was put on by ASL, but before any of the ASL started.
I see.
So it was right before it.
Yeah, I definitely was not watching Brood War in 2015.
Yeah, so it was like the first event that ASL put on.
I didn't even realize that events were still going on.
Oh, we have... I'm sorry, we're droning on and we have Marines pushing across the map. Nothing on the map for Machine. Ling's popping, so they might be able to clean this up, but...
Yeah, this is good. Did Machine even scout it with the Ling or an Overlord, or was he just making those Lings?
I think he saw it with Lings as the Marines were pushing out.
Pretty questionable decision by Maars, but I guess, really no pressure left.
Yeah, what do I know? I'm a terrible caster.
You can, well, I mean, as a Terran, I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could just get like random wins by moving out Marines like that. But
it looks like these Lings will get shut down. Probably won't get any counter damage done.
Yeah, but losing all those Marines against the 3-hatch in particular,
oh yeah,
gotta really hurt.
Especially since he was going 2-Rex Academy and not +1 5-Rex, so this 3-hatch Muta could do pretty well.
I guess he just didn't scout the 3rd hatch because it was hidden, or
yeah, because his SCV went to the 3 o'clock because of the SCV pathing, I think.
Oh, I see.
He might have clicked like in the top right.
I do remember playing a game with Maars a while back where I tried to go like a 3rd hatch 3rd, and he ended up not identifying it based on the later gas timing. So
Ling's running by into the natural. Marine's getting taken down immediately, and Ling's going to start whittling away at these SCVs. Sunkens, though, I don't know if they're up in time. First one getting taken down right below 100 health, so it dies as soon as the Marine attacks it. Second Sunken down, taken down. I don't know, maybe just be able to have a technical victory of just stimming into the natural. Well, the Machine isn't ready.
Yeah, I think this is just game. Honestly. I don't think Machine can pump it. Well, I guess mutas are on the way, but
so many drones just going down. He still doesn't even know about that top right base. The question is, does it matter?
This is rough.
Yeah. You never want to be microing mutas when the Marines, when they're not targeting mutas, they're targeting your other stuff. Oh, will we get the Spire? Just barely gets the Spire. Like he might inadvertently discover this 3rd base in the back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, Machine is still in it, sort of.
Yeah,
but
supply counts are even.
But I mean, it's still an absolutely awful position.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if I would want to rebuild the Spire at this point. I think I'd rather just go straight into Lurker.
Yeah, especially since you cleaned up that first Bioforce, he might even be safe to do so if he adds a few Sunkens. Yep, adding the Hydra Den. Force a bunch of turrets. He has to respect the mutas are on the map because he doesn't have a Bioforce to deal with them.
Yeah, I'm forcing turrets like that and just like cutting your losses with just the 4 mutas, I think is absolutely the best possible play.
Pretty even supply count right now, which at this point in the game is pretty impressive considering the drone losses.
I mean, yeah, keep in mind Maars did take some advantage from the Bling backstab as well. Not nearly as bad as Machine, but see Machine trying to get his 3rd gas here. It was like just a little off because Who's struggling to get his natural saturated?
Yeah. Looks like Maars going to stay on 3 racks due to the SCV losses. Looks like he's probably adding a factory there. And he probably scanned that lurker tech, so he's probably keen on to what Machine is doing. Third base or fourth base still not going down yet for Machine. He just doesn't have the money. Wonder if Maars can just
little
work his
gas
way down
heavy
there.
still.
Yeah. Oh, is that how you get to that base? I thought he went the other way. Shows what I know. It's like he is just gonna walk up and try and kill that drone. Enough Marines to deal with the 4 mutas in that in the main base. Marines waving hide before slaughtering the drone in cold blood.
Still no Queen's Nest, it looks like. So I guess Machine's just going to go for a really strong layer army.
Does he have an Evo chamber yet?
I don't think so.
I know there was a meta at some point where you just stayed on +1 lurkers for a while. So it really, like, it was hard for SK Terran players to deal with without tanks.
Well, I mean, really old school Zergs actually did, like, stay on layer a lot longer. But I think this game, I mean, it's just because he got really severely damaged by that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. These lurkers, they're going around the BIOS. They might just show up at his natural without any warning.
Yeah, Maars does have a bunker there, but I don't think it'll be enough versus all those lurkers.
Yeah. Generally, you want 3 bunkers filled with Marines, stemming forward, forcing the burrow ahead. So that'll get him some time, but the rest of the lurkers just getting on top of the bunker and burrowing and just slaughtering everything in sight. Maars evacuating the natural immediately.
Could this be game? I mean,
it could, yeah.
Actually, definitely can't break. But at the same time, it's really hellish to try to move up into a Terran main like this.
Yeah, especially when they're starting to produce tanks against lurkers. But lurkers starting to make their way on top of the factory, so it could be hard for Maars to get any significant force out. 1 lurker goes down, but so does the tank.
Oh no, the lurker getting stuck on the ramp.
The lurker's now getting on top of the barracks, so it just looks like this might be checkmate.
Okay, yeah, GG.
Yep.
Okay. Well, at least we got a 3-2. Well played by both players.
Yeah, some good moves on both sides. You know, punches and counter punches. Pretty scrappy game to end it.
I do kind of wish we saw some crazier plays, but yeah, at least the games were back and forth for sure. Especially the optimizer game, really scrappy.
Yeah, definitely some fun games to watch and cast.
Anyway, I think that'll be all for tonight. We do have another show match to announce before we step off. Next Friday at 5 p.m. PST, I believe, we'll be hosting a best of 5 show match between Hawk, the American Zerg, and Boa, the American Protoss.
Damn.
So that'll be a really interesting show match to watch. Boa so far is undefeated in the foul play NA show matches that we at Rogues Gallery have been hosting, and by far and away he's at least top 2, top 3 in North America. But Hawk in his own right is also a super impressive Zerg, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, Hawk's been looking really impressive lately, so maybe he could be a pretty good match for Boa. Should be an interesting match.
Yep, and other than that, I don't think there's anything else. Do you have anything else to add, Crazy?
No, it was fun casting with you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Anyway, see everyone later.
Good night. Happy holidays.